Hi everyone, my name is Heather and I'm back with another video for you today. So this is a little bit of a silly layout, but if any of you have boys out there in your life, then you know why this is a good layout. This is from the same camping trip from the last few layouts that I've done, only this is at our actual campsite. And this is my son. Gosh, he must have been just 6 or so in 2014. Maybe he was closer to 5 then, I guess. But, you know, he knows me and that I'm taking pictures. So he insisted that I take a picture of him holding the cookies in front of his butt. And like I said, if you have boys in your life, you know why that's funny. So I am using, again, the Bella Blvd Campout collection. I felt like this was a good way to use up more, since it was a lot of the just camping theme layouts left. So I'm using up the more camping themed ones that I haven't been able to use in the last couple of videos. So I didn't measure those papers there. I knew I wanted to use that big busy pattern paper one with all the different camping shapes on it. I really liked that one and I felt like this was a really good way to use it. And then I believe it's the other side of that camping one is this green pattern paper, and I wanted just a slight green border at the top and a small green border at the bottom. And a second ago you probably saw that I ripped the edges of those borders just for a little bit of added interest. So I have to tell you one thing I love about Bella Blvd. This paper that I am gluing the picture onto right now, the front of it, you only get this paper in the collection pack. I'm sure you can kind of see the other side of it there. But instead of wasting that front picture that shows everything that you get in the paper pack, they put a pattern paper on the other side of it so it doesn't go to waste, and I love that. The only thing I was bummed about is that I really liked this wood grain, and so I was wishing there was more in the pack, but that's okay. At least I got this one. So I used that just as a small border around the photo, just to kind of give it a little something. And I'm just trying to figure out where I want to place the photo. And I'm going to start looking at the title now. And my title is going to be Cookie Butt. I've just thought pretty simple, straightforward title there. And I just wanted to make sure, since I knew I had used all the E's in that first layout I did, the Peter Iredale, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to run out of a bunch of other letters. And I think I have to do the same thing with this layout with, where I take the full Q letter and cut it around it and make a E. So what I did was, because all my E's were out, you can see I just cut around the outline of one of the E's that used to be there, and I'm going to take the backing off, and then I'm just going to barely place it onto this letter Q, and I'm going to lightly trace it with a pencil. Since I didn't have the letter E itself, I thought that this was a good way to get the same shape of E, so it looked like it actually went with the alphabet itself. So I hope that makes sense. So you can see there the E, it looks fairly normal to me. So I'm just finishing the word cookie now, and I'm not really worried about these letters being real straight. I mean, this is just a kind of fun, silly layout that, you know, he will probably laugh at when he's older. So he would probably laugh at it now, actually. I got the title down there, and I'm going to place the photo. I don't add a whole lot to this layout. It actually turns out to be fairly simple. I do add a few things around. I didn't add a lot to it because, I am putting foam tape behind the photo now, so it will stand up just a little bit. I didn't add a lot to this layout, though, because of the busy background paper. I felt like that was enough to not have to add a whole lot more. I did know, I'm looking around now at all the embellishments and everything, and there is one of these chipboard borders, and I was really hoping to get these used up. I mentioned in the last video that I did struggle a little bit using these borders, and so I am going to get to use that border on this page. And then there was this super cute, look at that raccoon, he's so cute. It doesn't have anything to do with the page or the picture, but I don't really care. I'm putting that raccoon, I thought that he almost looks like he's being a little mischievous, and I think that's why I liked it with this layout. And so here you can see me, I'm taking that chipboard border piece and I wanted it a little bit shorter. So I'm just taking my little X-Acto knife that I have and I just cut really slowly, and instead of just cutting one big time through it, I cut a bunch of little times until it went all the way through. And I was originally thinking that I was going to place it underneath the photo, but when I put it here along the left hand side, I really liked the way that looked. And if you saw a second ago, I also took off a few of the layers. I really like their chipboard border strips, but they're really, really thick, and I just didn't like how thick they were. Some people might like them that thick. I just didn't. My preference was that I wanted it a little less thick. So I went ahead and I glued that along the left-hand side of the photo, and I felt like that kind of just gave it a little bit of something. And then I also had this tree chipboard piece, and since that border strip was already sticking up a little bit, I had to tear off just a little bit of the right-hand side of the tree so that it would be all the same level. So basically, I just tore off a few of the chipboard layers of the right-hand side of the tree, if that makes sense too. So I glued that down, and that's got a little bit of dimension there. And then because I have a chipboard piece now in the bottom, or I'm going to put it in the bottom. I don't know where he went at the moment, but I have the chipboard there. I am going to end up adding another chipboard piece, and I like the fact, here I am adding this little guy down. I just love that little raccoon. He's so cute. So I am going to add another chipboard piece, and it was this bear here, and I really like, I didn't really make a triangle around the photo, but I didn't care at this point that those chipboard pieces, I just kind of wanted to have them on this layout for kind of that fun, playful look. So now this is part of the cut apart sheet that was one of the sheets I've cut a bunch out of, and there was this, it's like a little journaling area, and I thought it looked really cute there above the bear. So I am going to ink the edges, and I'm using my brown chocolate close to my heart ink. That is one of my favorite inks. If you've been watching my videos, you know that. So I'm just going to add in the journaling, and I'm using a brown journaling pen. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the brown journaling pen, but there's plenty of brown pens out there. So basically the journaling, the question on the box says who, so I said Timothy ... who else, and then added some question marks, and then it says what, and he says making me take this picture of his cookie butt. And then it says where, camping at Fort Stevens, when August 8th, 2014. And then it says how long, and I said as many times as he wants, and then I added an exclamation point. And then you can see me here. I'm trying to tear up the photo. I've been horrible about the date. I always try to write down the date before I start scrapping the photos, but I don't always remember. So I just tore up the photo to find the date. And I'm going to tuck that behind there. And then the bear is going to cover up the bottom part. And I don't even remember what that question said, but it was irrelevant to whatever I wanted to write. So I'm going to glue down the bear, and then I am going to add another cluster up in the top left, and then I'm going to add some enamel dots down. And so again, I just want to say thank you to all my viewers. I'm pretty excited. This Saturday, which will be tomorrow after this video goes up, I'm going to go, if you've ever heard of the company Queen and Company, they are putting on a Queen for a Day event in my area, and I'm going to go to that with my scrappy friend, and I will do next week. I'm hoping I will be able to do a video of everything that we did there, and then also I want to start talking about National Scrapbook Day. I got a donation from a local company to me for a prize to give away, so I'm very excited about that. So I hope you guys will tune in, but we will talk about that later on next week. So I hope you guys like this video. I hope the layout turned out cute for you guys. I did add some, I did add a green sticker shape in the top left cluster and popped it up with some foam tape, and here's a couple close-ups, or maybe just one close-up, and then the layout. So all right guys, have a great weekend. I hope you find some time to get scrappy, and I will see you later. Bye.